I did have one question for you, Jacob, and is how much did Dave talk to you about the role, or like like prepare you, or
Oh, he didn't
anything,
prepare me at all.
or did he just like have fun?
Good luck.
No, Ian prepared me for the role, like, to be
Okay.
perfectly honest. And Dave and I are really good friends.
Right.
Dave and I have done a lot of work together for the last year or so. So him and I became like really good friends in a lot of this. No, I mean, I can tell you how the whole fucking convo went. It was basically, I was there for, he announced his retirement, and at that retirement, he had already told people he wanted me to take the role, which is wild to me because I left a very heartfelt, almost crying statement on it about how big the shoes were that he was leaving behind for someone to fill. I had no idea. I swear to God, I had no idea. The first time he told me asked me was in Ireland for LZ World Tour, which is funny because he had been talking about it since Poland that he wanted me in that role.
Wow.
So everybody at the LZ World Tour Ireland already fucking knew that it was going to be me before I did. And no one said shit the whole time. So
got him.
Right. So we get there. I'm there for like, I don't know, an hour or so. And he like pulls me aside into a little office and is like, hey, pretty straight up. Dave's pretty, straight to the point guy, and was like, so I retired. I'm like, yeah. Congrats. I'm happy you can focus on driving. He's like, yeah, you're taking the job. Like, no question. It was just, you're taking the job. I was like, well, I don't want the job, Dave. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, this is, you get to be the announcer of both series. I'm like, yeah, I think people are going to get sick of me. I really don't want the job. He's like, okay, well, you're going to take a couple hours and you're going to come back when you realize that's a stupid thing to say to me. And then we're going to talk about what's going to happen. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, let's talk about the logistics and the pay and all that shit, like all the fun stuff. And he kind of told me, he's like, yeah, the flights are going to suck. The pay is going to suck. You're going to stay in some shit hotels and you're going to be tired, but you're going to take the job. And I'm like, you're really fucking selling this, man. And he's like, okay. So
go on.
Yeah. So I left his office. I called my wife and I'm like, I just got offered the job for Driftmaster. She's like, well, you're going to take it. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm going to be gone like 100 days a year. Right. And she's like, yeah, whatever. We'll figure it out. You're going to take the fucking job. And I'm like, oh, are you sure about this? She's like, yeah, I've never, she just heard me talking about her. She's like, yeah, like, of course you're taking the job. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll see. And then I went and talked to like Denofa and James Dean and Becky and Ian and all these people who already fucking knew that I was going to get the job. Right. David already, and they're like, oh, so you took it? I'm like, no, I haven't yet. They're like, well, why the fuck not? And I'm like, I don't know, because I think people are going to get sick of me and, I'm not going to do a good job and all this shit. And there's people more qualified to do it than I am. And they're like, are you stupid? Like, you're taking the job. So everybody just kept saying the same thing, that I'm taking the job. So then I went back to Dave. I was like, well, I guess you got ahead of this and just talked to everybody before me. So I guess I'll take the job. And like, that was it. That was basically the combo. It was the wildest week.
You just got peer pressured into it.
Pretty much. Yeah. Now, obviously I very much want to be there, but I was so self-conscious about taking it. And that's the only reason why I didn't want to, was because I'm still convinced that people are going to get tired of my voice. At a deep level, that's really what I think. So the upside with that is that self-consciousness has pushed me to an unhealthy level to be as good at this job as I possibly can, to try and avoid people being like, he doesn't deserve to be there. He's not qualified to be there. He's only been doing this for 2 years. What the fuck does he know about drifting? There's people who know European drifting more than anybody than he does, or there's people with a better voice or whatever. So all of that insecurity, which I'm sure all of you guys have gone through similar things in different ways, have forced me to just be as good at this fucking job as I can without killing myself. Like that's where I'm at. So